Fox News series written by David Harrison Fisher. And the story of lost Pacific Empire, story of wealth and ambition and survival. Abraham Lincoln in Mexico, Michael Hogan, history of courage and unlikely friendship. Left me the gun of my mother's. Hitler's forgotten children, anger, and an on halftime tape to a true story. Legend program woman's search for her real identity. Elephant Company of Vicky King Crook. Author by Lady of the Bunda. Marine Sisters Home Improvement by author by The Last Days. Bring that mile to my highway logs. It's about to Made by Pals by Disney. Just Picked My Please, and this is the Mercy Meyer update series. And Thumper the Egg and Bunnies by Disney. Animal Armor. Number 1. Exploding Great Outdoors. That'd be the light blue. And Alan the Chipmunks. Fun with that. The Garden of Day, number 1. And Bugs in the National Geographic. And the favorite card game and Hearts of Cocoa in the House, number 2. Light blue, as I said again. What is another is that when you fail, you stay down. Whoever stays down is a loser. Winners fail and get up. Fail and get up. Fail and get up. You always get up. That is a winner. That's a winner. I lost powerlifting competitions. I lost weightlifting competitions. I had movies that went in the toilet and that were terrible because if the work. But then when you broke, it's a task me. When they saw me in the gym in the pumping iron days, they said, why is it that you're working out so hard? 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face. The others are working out just as hard as you do, and they look sour in the face. Why is that? And I told people all the time, I said, because to me, I'm shooting for gold. In front of me is the Mr. Universe title. So every rep that I do gets me closer to accomplishing that goal, to make this goal, this vision turn into reality. Every single set that I do, every repetition, every weight that I lift will get.
When you have a Marine general whose nickname is Mad Dog go up against a liberal senator from New York, you pretty much know the outcome. She is going to end up on the short end of the stick. And if you don't know that, well then watch this video. Senator Gillibrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to continue some of the line of questioning started by Senator McCaskill. Do you plan on rolling back the opening of infantry positions to women based on your previous statements?
Senator, I've never come into any job with an agenda, a preformed agenda of changing anything. I come in assuming the people before me deserve respect for the job they did and the decisions they made.
I asked specifically because in previous speeches, one from the Marines Memorial Club in San Francisco on April 16th, 2015, you were asked specifically about whether we should open infantry positions and special forces combat jobs to women. And you said you did not think it was a good idea. You said when you mix, you know, that when you mix arrows, when you mix affection for one another, that could be manifested sexually. I don't care if you go anywhere in history, you will not find where this has worked. Never has it worked. And then in a previous speech on April 23rd, 2014, you said the idea of putting women in there is not setting them up for success. Could we find a woman who could run fast enough? Of course we could. Could we find a few who could do the pull-ups? Of course we could. That's not the point. That's not the point at all. It's whether or not you want to mix arrows. And so in both of these question and answer sessions, you said you do not think you could do it. Have you changed your view on this issue?
Senator, I was not in a position to go back into government when I made those statements. There are many policies that have been enacted over many years, including the years since I've been on active duty. I'm coming in with the understanding that I lead the Department of Defense, and if someone brings me a problem, then I'll look at it. But I'm not coming in looking for problems. I'm looking for ways to get the department so it's at the most lethal stance. And in that regard, it's all about military readiness. I'm looking for military readiness and what we can do in that regard.
Do you plan to oppose women serving in these combat roles?
I have no plan to oppose women in any aspect of our military. In 2003, I had hundreds of Marines who happened to be women serving in my 23,000 person Marine division. And this is 10 years before I retired, and I put them right into the front lines alongside everyone else.
So you no longer believe that arrows is a problem when men and women are serving together?
I believe that if we are going to execute policies like this, we had better train our leaders so they can handle all things that come from a policy that's decided in this town. That's our responsibility, to train our young leaders who are going to be dealing with factors that perhaps their fathers did not have to deal with.
In your book, Warriors and Citizens, and the interviews that you did afterwards, you were talking about the disconnect between civilians and the civilian elite's view of the military and the military's view of itself. And you cite various policy debates that you think there's a disconnect, and two that you cite. You said in recent policy debates, such as those about allowing homosexuals to serve openly, retaining a residual force in Iraq and Afghanistan, cutting military spending.
This 20 days, we can talk all we want to. It's not seeming, it's not going anywhere.
I'm tired of somebody telling me I don't care about our soldiers and we don't respond. I want to have a conversation about this, and I want to get brief.
I'm sorry. I want to work with you on that as you go forward. Don't understand that we can't have a
right, but I have that prerogative when I'm sitting. Well, I have a prerogative too. George, I want to work with you on that as we go forward. Don't let it say that we can't have a conversation. Well, you want me to let us say it. Oh, you're right, but I have that prerogative when I'm sitting. George, I want to work with you on that as we go forward. Don't let me say anything that we can't have a conversation. Well, you want me to let us say anything. Well, you're right, but I have that prerogative when I'm sitting up there. Well, I have a prerogative too, and that's to answer a question or an accusation when it's said.
Pump jets into a sub. Now, is it true that pump jet submarines can only stay underwater for 20 minutes?
No, Senator. I do not know what you're referring to about pump jet submarines remaining underwater for 20 minutes. Can I just be clear again? A pump jet is a form of propeller. It has no bearing on how deep a submarine can go, how long it can stay underwater. They are matters that pertain to the platform design of the submarine.
What about a diesel sub? So we are going
to buy diesel electric submarines, and I can assure you, Senator, they're going to stay underwater for much longer than 20 minutes.
3 days? 3 days? What?
I'm not going to reveal what our requirements are. That is classified.
Knowledge of how long a diesel can stay underwater compared to what a nuclear sub can stay underwater.
A diesel electric submarine can stay underwater depending on the way it's designed. So that refers to matters about the size of the battery, the manner in which which is the power that is consumed by the submarine when it's operating, is used and so forth. There are a number of factors to electric submarine remains
this Barracuda, actually there is still one on the slipways in France that hasn't even been tested. We're actually basing the design of that has not been tested. Do you believe that is in our interest?
We have selected Naval Group as competent designers of diesel electric submarines and indeed ocean-going submarines. We made that assessment on the basis of the competitive evaluation process, which I've endeavoured to explain was a very thorough process. We have no reason to believe that France is not capable of designing a submarine to meet our requirements.
Madam Secretary, according to the Commission report, I quote, "It is expected the Air Force proposes to divest entire fleets such as the A-10 and the KC-10 aircraft. Such retirements would likely project substantial savings. However, the units that operate those aircraft reflect decades of investment in those who fly and maintain them, as well as in the facilities the Air Force likely will need for emerging missions, a new way of using the total force. Because any such divestitures would be subject to congressional approval, the Commission recommends that the Air Force develop and provide Congress a detailed, complete, and comprehensive plan explaining how the Air Force will achieve missions undertaken by such platforms in the future and how it will retain the highly trained personnel from these fleets." Secretary James, so far this committee has not received anything like a complete, comprehensive, or detailed plan, while a major capability of the United States Air Force, which is a close air support role, is being either contemplated or proposed to be eliminated. I would ask for your thoughts as to what would replace the A-10 aircraft in its close air support role.
We will always strive to do better in terms of the communications. This year, I believe on day one when the budget rolled out, we offered an operational laydown in greater detail to the four committees and staffs and whatnot. We will always endeavor to do better and take the lessons learned from this year. I mean, in terms of the A-10, what is intended to replace the percentage that the A-10 was doing in terms of close air support in the immediate future would be the other aircraft such as F-16, F-15E, and so forth that are capable of
So
doing
forth, tell me again, so forth here.
F-15E, F-16, B-1 bombers, some of our unmanned.
B-1 bomber will now be used for close air support.
So it is my belief that the B-1 bomber has done some close air support in Afghanistan. So we would cover it with existing aircraft, and of course, down the line,
Remarkable statement. That doesn't comport with any experience I've ever had, nor anyone I know has ever had. See, this is an example. You're throwing in the B-1 bomber as a close air support weapon to replace the A-10. This is the reason why there is such incredible skepticism here in the Congress. And believe me, we want, under the present environment, I can't speak for the committee. I can only speak for myself and several others.
Pump jets or pump jets into a sub.
It's 2:44, 29 seconds Monday, March 25th, 2019 at UTA Midtown Library.
And there's 50. What do you mean? 30. 20 feet. 10 feet. Contact. How you doing today, sir?
Excellent.
You guys drink coffee down there?
All the time. Tough to keep it warm, though.
Why? You got a giant fireball beaming right down in front of you.
You know, if we put it front by this big radar, it does tend to warm up a little bit. What about you guys?
We drink some type of coffee. Usually it's instant coffee, but if we're lucky, we can bring a Keurig. Fancy coffee.
Or an espresso guy myself.
Little shots of coffee.
Yeah, little shots of coffee, something nice and dark.
Yeah. Sounds like nice and dark too.
You a cappuccino guy in the morning or afternoon?
More afternoon.
Blasphemous though, don't you think? Drinking a cappuccino after 11?
Say again?
It's kind of blasphemy to drink a cappuccino that late in the day.
Why?
It's a milk drink. That's for the morning. You can't drink milk in the afternoon.
Dark in the morning, light in the evening.
It's for tea. We're not British.
True that. What about your backseater there? Does he like coffee?
He does.
So, okay, I gotta ask. Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Yes, Starbucks.
Starbucks or McCafe?
Okay, how about Starbucks or McCafe?
Definitely Starbucks.
Two.
Lame.
Press, no cold press.
What about Pop-Tarts?
What you guys, you roasting any Pop-Tarts?
You know, it turns out all my Pop-Tarts got crushed in my bag. So, you know, it's just crumbs. They're pretty tasty. That's pretty crummy.
That's a little crummy, don't you think? Crummy Pop-Tarts. It's okay, you don't have to shake your head. I know that was sucky. How do you feel about this being your final flight, sir?
It's a bit sad. It's not my final flight. It's my final flight in this beautiful jet. Pretty soon I'm going to be in that beautiful jet.
High over Afghanistan, Major Derek Baker and his KC-135 crew pump gas into a leaking F-16. Fuel sprays out of the F-16's engine. Without constant fueling, the F-16's pilot may have to bail.
Essentially, at that point, we're just feeding his engines and trying to keep his tank at the current level so he doesn't run out of gas.
The KC-135 and the F-16 fly connected through enemy skies. One sudden move
It's a warm
from
spring
either
day.
aircraft
Tupper wants to
spelled
explore the
disaster.
forest.
We did have a lot to worry about. As you can
Essentially,
imagine, two aircraft really
which
close
is
to each
the
other, in
forest.
fact, actually touching each other, and
Number
then
one,
conducting air refueling over
which
enemy
is the
territory.
beginner reader,
We're going to have some
grade
danger.
level 1, sex 1, step 6.
Plenty of
It's a
time
warm
for
spring
something
day.
to go
Tupper
wrong.
wants to explore.
We were a lot
Tupper
slower
sees a
and less
pink
movable.
flower.
We're also looking out to make sure nobody decides to start shooting at us as well.
And then Thumper sees a feather.
The airbase within sight. The F-16 disconnects and descends down.
And then Thumper's in pursuit of a butterfly in the forest. His name is the grassy
Baker
knoll.
makes a radio
There's
call
the
and
purplish,
confirms.
yellowish
Mission
butterflies in
accomplished.
flight.
The jet is safely underground.
As Thumper pursues and finds the location of the egg right by the ducks,
With
the
the
yellow
F-16
ducks,
safe on
in the
the ground,
pond.
the tanker crew turns its
Now there are
attention
4
towards
different
the next
rabbits
Everybody's always going to
in the area with the egg as well.
And right after you got on the ground, after quick high five, we went off to another fueling.
There's the mama and the father rabbit, all the mama rabbits, daddy rabbits, a mixture, and then Thumper. And Thumper tells her family about the egg and sisters. They want to see the egg. They've seen very interesting by the big tree. And Thumper leads the way for his two brothers to find out where the egg's at. And he comes along with the beaver as well. And Tisa looks at the egg. She thinks it's pretty, but Daisy's happy, cannot wait for the egg to hatch. There's Daisy above. This is Dixie. Dixie above the egg. Dixiehoe. Dixie Howe from Yakima, Washington. Going to Pismo Beach, Pismo Beach. Over in Shell Beach, off of the cliffs. And there's Dixie and Dixie's mother and father and grandfather and grandpa. And there's also the administrative officer on the Storm City and beachfront property in Pismo Beach, Oceano Beach. Biggest front beach, and there's a pond and location in the background. And there's a turtle with the butterfly. But this is Dixie Howe, Dixiehoel, sitting above the egg, the baby egg. And then there's Dixie and Dixie's house and their mother and father administration office. In Mesa, California, and there's a white in. He's not dead. It's a small baby egg in her womb. She's pregnant, Dixie Howe. Robles is past Robles in Santa Barbara County. Dixie Howe's here in Los Angeles. U.S. Los Angeles. Mother, father, and grandpa and grandma and pappy sit there above the egg. She says, Rita knows how to care for an egg bunnies have. Keep the egg warm. Direction by mother and father administration offices there. And there's Thumper's sister goes to find the mother eggs. And comes back. It was about 50 feet. 50 feet of wind parameter, and there's a 9-foot parameter. Baby ducklings, siblings of the baby duck. mother and father, and Dixie, of course. Dixie, and there comes a turtle, comes out of the midst of the pond, and the baby ducks.
About 5 feet, a little up and down.
Daisy and Dixie and the Thumper, the two bunnies, thinking they make the egg happy, but Dixie and then has the idea to start to sing to the egg. So Dixie figures out she can sing to her while she's sitting in the tub and she's still whining an egg. The administration officers outside of the administration office is sitting there, still whining, complaining and singing to the egg. Dixie's just singing away. And here comes the mole out of the ground, along with the turtle and also the turtle, and the baby birds above the nest. Siblings sitting there waiting. She's still singing. Here comes the squirrels, some chipmunks, some beavers, some siblings, a mole, groundhog, some small siblings, and that's Daisy's cannot tell if the egg is happy, so the Thumper still stands around the egg. There's Thumper, there's Dixie, and there's Dixie Owl, and all of the turtles, the gophers, the groundhog, and also the beaver, the ducks, the squirrels, the chipmunks, the squeezing the nuts, and waiting for the duration for it. And Dixie looks at that egg and still does not know what to do. Thumper has an idea, maybe the egg will work one of these tricks again. This is called a bird. The biggest bird in a small egg. Thumper finds a big blue feather and he tickles Dixie with the feather. Here's Dixie getting tickled at the Bravo military base in Yakima, Washington. Also Fort Bragg and Fort Sumter, Parris Island administration over in San Diego. They have no competition in the obstacle course against Parris Island, and she gets a feather. This is from George Washington's portraits. Here comes the otter. Pappy Bunny, Pappy John Deere Evergreen Implement, John Deere RDO John Implement, to check on the egg and holds the Thumper for trickling his sister. Thumper tells Pappy and that trying to make the egg happy. Here's Dixie and Grandpa, administrators of the offices. North of Mesa, also Santa Barbara Rancho, the ranch in Santa Barbara, the biggest ranch there is. And that's Mrs. Ronald Reagan inside Felix Barela's property, inside the king-size administration office of the Cliffs. Told her to go back in the mall. So they wait for Dixie baby to come out of the egg. Waiting. Thumper's sister come back and found the egg's nest. Dixie's nest. They found Dixie's egg's mom. Here's Dixie, egg's mom, and other siblings. And Thumper puts the egg in the nest, and Mammy's the biggest bird in the world. And there's the otter, the bunnies, the squids, the seals, the magnemians, great white sharks, all over the area. And right on the surface on the mainland is a feather. And Dixie and Thumper. The biggest feather in the world. The bird. You can see the bird fly. feather is connecting to the egg. To get a little response. So the trickle of the crack of the egg. Very careful, very sensitive. See how he approaches the egg? You can hear everyone cussing in the background. That's mother and father and grandfather and great-grandfather. They're cussing because they speak English. And he'll speak English. We're connecting the feather. He's pulling everybody off him and he speaks English. Look. And here comes the big egg. Biggest bird in the world. Right over San Luis Obispo, California.